Hello guys, welcome to day 11 of HackerRank's 30 Days of Code Challenge, and today we are going to take a look at 2D arrays. So what is a 2D array? 2D array is like a 1D array, but the representation of this array is in the form of rows and columns. So this is an example of the 2D array. This is a 6 by 6 array, which means it has 6 rows and 6 columns. So this first element has the index I is equal to 0 and j is equal to 0 because the indexes start from 0. So the row also starts from 0 and the column also starts from 0. Now I'll tell you how do we specify the location of a specific element. So take a look at this 0 right here. So what is its I value? That is the row value. So we start from the first row, which is 0. This is 0 and this is the second row which has index 1. So I is equal to 1, and then we'll have to look at the column. So this is column number 0, this is column number 1, this is column number 2, and this is column number 3. So the representation of this element is a of 1 in first square bracket and a and 3 in the second square bracket. So first square bracket represents the row position and second square bracket represents the column position. All right. Now we in this task we have to find the summation of the R class in this array. So there are 16 R classes precisely in this array, and R class is like this pattern. So this is the example of an R class. The shape that these ones are making is an R class, and there are 16 such R classes, and we'll have to find the summation of each of these R classes, and then we'll have to output the maximum of the summations. Okay, then now that I've explained you the task, let's start with the code. So I've already cleared all the unwanted things here. Let me start with the main function now. So int men. Now we'll have to take the input of this array. How do you do that? First we'll have to declare a 2D array. So the data type of the 2D array is integer. So first we'll write integer, and then we'll write the name of the array. Let's give it a, and then we'll write the size of the array. So first we'll write the size of number of columns, number of rows, which are 6, and then number of columns, which are also 6. So this is the declaration of the array a. Now we'll run a for loop. So first we'll specify the rows that the for loop will be covering. So I is equal to 0, I is less than 6, and I plus plus. And then in this for loop we'll specify the number of columns that we'll be covering. So j is equal to 0, j is less than 6, j plus plus. Okay, and then we'll just have to write c in a I j. So let me show you how the input will take place. So first I will be 0, and then the j values will run. So first this row will be inputted. J is equal to, I is equal to 0, j is equal to 0 is this element, then j equal to 1 is this element, I is equal to 0, j is equal to 1, then j is equal to 2 is this element, j is equal to 3 is this element, and so on. And then the value of I will be incremented and this row will be inputted, and then all the rows will be inputted sequentially. So this will take care of the input. Now let's figure out how we will find the summation of the hourglass. So first let me define a vector called v. So what is a vector? Vector is also a container like array, but we don't have to specify the size of the vector in the code itself because it is a dynamic container. So we can directly insert any element in that vector without having to specify the size of the vector like we have done here. All right. Now we'll use this vector to store all the summations of the R classes. Now there are 16 R classes. We know that the size of the vector will be 16, but we don't need to specify it. Okay. And I'll declare an integer called sum to store the summation of the R class, individual R class. Okay, now let me run a for loop. Int I is equal to 0, I is less than 4, I plus plus. Now why 4? I'll explain you that also. So when we are finding the summation of an hourglass, the first element starts from here, alright, which is I is equal to 0, and again the second hourglass, the first element will start from the here. The third class first element will start from here. Fourth hourglass first element will start from here. But we can't proceed further because there is not enough space to accommodate another hourglass. So this is the last element we'll be looking for. Alright, so I is equal to 4 will be the last row element that we'll have to consider. Then again int j is equal to 0, j is less than 4, j plus plus. The logic of j is equal to 4 is also the same as I explained you the logic of I is equal to 4. Okay, now we'll have to do the summation of all the R class values. So sum plus is equal to a of ij. First element of is a of ij. Now the second element will be the next element in the row, which is a of I j plus 1, and the third element will be the next element in that row will be a of I j plus 2. Now we'll take the input of the next element which is in the next row, which is a of I plus 1 and j plus 1. Okay, so first we took the summation of these three elements. Now we took the summation of this element, and now we have to take the summation of these three elements. So for that, a of I plus 2 and j plus a of I plus 2 j plus 1 plus a of I plus I plus 2 j plus 2. Alright, we have covered all the R class elements now. Now we have to store this summation in the vector v. Alright, so how do I do that? So we write the name of the vector, then we use a dot operator, and then we use the function pushback. Okay, and then we write the name of the value that we want to store in the vector. So we'll write sum here in the brackets. So what this will do, this will store the value of sum in the vector. It will add from the back. So this is how the value of sum will be stored in the vector. Then we'll have to again set the value of sum to 0 so that we can store the summation of other R classes in the same variable. Okay, so this will take care of all the summations of the R classes. That will be 16 summations. Now the summations will be randomly stored in the vector, not in any order, but we have to find the greatest value, right? So as I showed you in the last video, we'll have to sort that container. So how do we sort a vector? We write sort, and in brackets we write the element which we want the sorting to start from. So if we want to access the first element of a vector, we write v dot begin. Begin is a function which will return the first element of the vector, and the last element of the vector will be returned from the end function, which is v dot end. So this vector will be sorted, and the greatest summation will be stored in the last element, and the value of the last element will be v of 15. Why? Because the index of a vector also starts from 0. So we'll just have to output v of 15. That is it. We have completed this code. Let me run this code and check if it works. So the sample test case 0 is passed. Let's see if it passes another all the test cases. Alright, all the other test cases have been passed. And so like 2D array, there are also can be 3D array, 4D array, multi-dimensional arrays are possible. But the storage will be like this only. First the row will be taken, then this row will be taken and this row will be taken. Alright, so this is what the video was all about, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.